Like, do you see how sculpted I am right now? I don't mind. I really don't mind. Alright, so let's get started. Today I'm so freaking excited because I'm going to be reviewing a bunch of new Kaleidos makeup. I've had this for months and I didn't have the time to film this video, but today I'm so excited because it's been sitting in my face and I really wanted to try these products, and today is the day to try these products. So yes, I'm not going to speak too much. Let's just jump into the video. So first product I'm going to be reviewing is the eyeliner, and these eyeliners, like on the Kaleidos Instagram page, they look like magic. They look amazing, so shifty and duochrome. The only thing I will say about these liners is that when I swatched them, they felt more on the dry side than the creamy side, but the good thing is that they did not crumble while I swatched them. They did glide nicely on the skin, but they're not as creamy as a kohl liner, for example. Next, I'm going to be swatching the quad palettes. Can we just talk about this packaging for a moment? Kaleidos packaging is always the best. It's always so nice. The palette Flowing Haze is more on the cool purple brown side, and these eyeshadows, they swatch beautifully, especially the shimmers. Whenever I tried Kaleidos eyeshadows, I always felt like the shimmers were just so high quality, so creamy, very shimmery, very high pigment. The mattes also feel very high pigment and very creamy when you swatch them, but when you go and apply them on the lids, I do find myself having trouble trying to get payoff and trying to have a nice blend. But yeah, I'm curious to see how these apply on the lid. Next, we have the palette Glowing Iris, which is the brighter purple palette. Look at this. These shades look so vibrant. It's so pretty. If you're looking for a good purple palette, this is a really good purple palette. You have a bright shade, you have a shimmer shade, a lighter blending shade, and a deeper purple shade. So yeah, I feel like if you like purple, you're probably going to like the color scheme of this palette. Next product I'm going to be reviewing is this right here. This is the Tone Activator Eye Primer. And last products I'm going to be trying are these products right here. I'm very excited about these. Like, look at this. This is so pretty. Like, the packaging is so amazing, but it's kind of like the trouble with packaging. Like, are you paying for the packaging or for the product quality? That's kind of like my only problem with Kaleidos, is that they must put a lot of money in packaging. Okay, so I went and just grabbed the old collection, the old Charisma collection. Yeah, they feel very similar. Maybe this one is not as creamy. Like, this feels so soft. It almost feels like a cream. Like, I feel like it has some shine. It's very interesting. It feels super creamy and it swatches really beautifully on the skin. So yeah, honestly, I do see a difference between both of these collections, and these palettes are definitely for a very wide range of skin tones. And last product I'm going to be reviewing today is the Kaleidos Symphony Face Illuminators. So these look like brightening powders that you can apply like on your under eyes, or on the high points of the cheeks, just to bring back some light. I'm not sure if these have shimmer, so let me swatch these. So these feel like the exact same formula as the contour palettes. They don't seem to have any shine at all. I'm glad I checked online because it is actually the same powder. So if you are getting the trio, don't buy the single because it's actually the exact same product. So that's really good to know. So here we go. I'm now ready to put the makeup on my face, so let's get started. First, I'm going to moisturize my skin, and I'm going to be using the Merit Great Skin Instant Glow Serum. They sent this to me, and honestly, it's very nice. I really enjoy this. This does not break me out. It's a very lightweight serum. It's very comfortable. You really have to shake it because you have some oil in it. And I usually just do one pump of this and it's enough. For my moisturizer, I'll be using the Rich Bitch moisturizer from Freck. I've been really enjoying this moisturizer. It does not break me out. It's so lightweight. It's very comfortable. So yes, I'm just going to take a little bit and massage this into my face. Now I'll be trying the eye primer from Kaleidos. So let's see what kind of texture this has. Okay, Ooh, I'm very surprised. This looks very watery. So this says that it's supposed to make color pop, prevents creasing, prevents smudging, and it's also waterproof. Oh, I think I applied too much. So far this looks like nothing. I'm not sure how I feel about this primer right now. It honestly feels like I have nothing on my lid. Usually I like my MAC Pro Longwear paint pot because it's a really nice creamy pigmented primer so that all the eyeshadows you apply on top really stands out and has a lot more payoff. This feels like I have nothing on my lid, which could be a good or a bad thing. I'm going to start with the palette Flowing Haze, and I'm going to be grabbing the, I think I'm going to go right into the dark brown shade, just because I feel like with Kaleidos eyeshadows, they're very hard to layer. So if I start with the light shade, the darker shade will not layer on top. I told myself that I needed to start with the deeper shades first and blend those out with the lighter shades. Actually, I first took it with a fluffier brush, but I think I'm going to grab it with my angled brush just to give me an idea of where the colors are going to be, and then I'm going to blend it out. So from the center of my lid, I'm just going to create a line going towards the end of my brow. I'm going to create a very long wing. Okay, do you see that? The eyeshadow primer is already creasing. Yeah, I don't like the primer. Like, it's already creasing. What the heck are you doing? I am not impressed with this primer. So I have the line that I want. Next, with a precise fluffy brush, I'm just going to grab the lighter brown shade, and I'm going to do a reverse cat eye. So I'll be taking that shade downwards. I want to do a very harsh upper line and blend everything downwards. So this brush is too fluffy on the end, so instead I'm just going to grab a brush that has more of a tapered end. This is the Jaclyn Hill JH40 brush, and I'm going to do a lot of back and forth between the darker shade and my angled brush and the lighter shade and my fluffy brush. And don't worry if you mess it up on top, we are going to clean it up. Okay, so far these eyeshadows are doing what I want, which is very exciting. Next, I'm going to take that fluffier brush with that dark shade, and I'm going to place that in my very crease right here, in the very beginning of my crease. Yeah, this primer is so shiny, like what the heck? It didn't really dry down. And I hate the fact that we can see my veins. And I'm taking this shade quite close to my inner corners. Alright, so far so good. I'm enjoying how these eyeshadows are blending. Next, I'm going to be taking a trusty Q-tip. I'm going to remove some of the cotton from the swab, just so that we have a much more precise tip. I'm going to grab some micellar water. Like usual, I'm going to remove the excess on the back of my hand, just so that we don't have micellar water dripping everywhere. And I'm going to just clean the upper part of our wing. With a angled brush, I'm just going to intensify that shade in my inner crease, in the very crease. And next, with a concealer, I'm using the Benefit Boing Concealer in the shade Carry On. I've been really liking this concealer. It's very lightweight, but it does have a really nice amount of coverage. I'm going to take that with my now clean angled brush, and I'm going to draw a line in the very center of the beginning of my crease, right in the middle of where we applied the eyeshadow. Okay, so now let's have some fun with the liner. So I'll be using the shade Night of Creation, which is the very pretty purple shade, and I'm going to be placing this all over the place. So first, I'm going to apply this in my crease. It's going to go from the concealer line to the very end of my brow into a teardrop shape. Okay, so these dry quickly and when you try to layer them on, when you go back in with a second coat, it just removes the liner that you already put down. But can we take a moment and appreciate how pretty this liner is and how I'm glad I trusted the process, because this makeup look looks pretty nice so far. I hope I'm not going to mess it up. Next, I'm going to do a rounded cat eye inner corner, and I'm also going to do a rounded liner starting from the center of the top of my lid going down to the corner of my eye, but I'm not going to follow my lash line. I'm going to do a U shape. And I also applied some of that liner in my waterline. This makeup look is starting to look weird, but I don't really mind it. So far, I do like the application of these liners, but I do have difficulty trying to layer this on top of eyeshadow. Like on the outer corner, I did have some trouble trying to get pigment out of these liners because it just does not want to stick on top of eyeshadow. So that's kind of weird. Next, I'm going to take that Q-tip with that micellar water and I'm just going to erase that negative shape on the outer corner. And I'll just reapply some concealer where we removed the liner just to make it cleaner. Okay, so I think I'm pretty happy with this so far. It's very alien-esque. So now I want to bring back some dimension, a lot more dimension to this makeup look. So I'm going to go in the Flowing Haze palette and with a small flat brush, I'll take the shimmer shade and I'm going to place that in the center of all the liner just so that the center of the eye has a pop. So I'll pop some of that in the center right here. And as you can see, it just gives a little pop. Oh no, I wanted to use this one. God damn it. I'm going to go in the shade, in the palette Glowing Iris. I wanted to use this one. Like it wasn't popping as much as I tried on the back of my hand. Like I did some tests and I wanted to use this one. So I'll take the shimmer shade from that palette instead and I'll just place this on top. I'm also placing some of that just a little bit towards my inner corner, but not all the way. So that's pretty much that for the eyeshadow look so far. So yes, I'm going to do the other eye off camera really quickly and I'll be right back. Alright, so here we have it. I'm obsessed with this makeup look. I definitely need to make the brown more intense because now it's just there and it's not really doing much for this makeup look. But like so far this is really pretty. I really like it. So I do have a lot of fallout, so I'm just going to remove some of the fallout I have all over my cheeks. Alright, I curled my lashes and now I'm going to apply some mascara. I'm going to be using the About Face mascara. I'm in love with this mascara. It's so good. It does a lot for your lashes really quickly. It separates them. It's really nice and it's very, very long lasting. Like I have difficulty trying to remove this at the end of the day. It's not waterproof, it's not super difficult to remove, but it is more long lasting than any of my mascaras that I have right now. So yeah, I'm just going to use that. Okay, so for my foundation, I used the M Cosmetics Daydream Cushion Foundation in the shade Fair Light. I've been really enjoying this foundation, it's so lightweight. For my concealer, I'll be using the Benefit Boing Concealer, and I filled my brows in using the Yves Rocher Brow Pencil in the shade Blonde, and I fluffed them up using the Yves Rocher Mascara in the shade Clear. For my lip shade, I'm going to be taking the Cloud Lab Lip Clay in the shade Dune, but first I'm just going to line my lips with the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Endless Cacao. Alright, so now last product to review. I'm going to be taking the Trio in the shade Light. On the website they say that the first shade is to fill, the second one is to sculpt, and the third one is to chisel. So let's try that. To apply the products, why not use this set? Kuo Beauty sent me this wonderful brush set. So I think I'm going to be using this brush to fill. I'll take a fluffier brush. Ooh, this feels nice. A fluffier brush to sculpt. I think I'll go with the more dense one to chisel. I'm going to grab the fill shade and let's try it on the under eyes. Okay, so first thing, as you know, I don't like to powder my face. I have dry skin and I do not want to make my skin drier. I want to make my skin dewy and amazing and so glossy. So usually I don't like powders, but like this one feels very fine. It does not, like I do feel it on my under eyes, but it does not feel too heavy. So far, so good. It definitely mattifies, like this does not have any shine at all. Also, I don't feel like this has a lot of coverage, like it definitely does not add much coverage. Just mattifies and brightens a tad, but nothing crazy. I'm going to go into the Sculpt shade with a fluffier brush, a fluffier tapered brush. It's very powdery, like when I go in with a brush, there's a lot of powder and a lot of kickback. I definitely really like it. Like usually I kind of sculpt and contour with my bronzer because it also adds warmth to the skin, but I'm definitely not mad at this shade. This shade is really nice. Like it definitely gives the illusion of a shadow on my skin and it's very natural. It blended beautifully. I think I like it. Like, do you see how sculpted I am right now? I don't mind. I really don't mind. Okay, let me try doing some chiseling. I'm kind of scared, especially because this brush is really dense, so I don't know if I'm doing the right choice here, but let's try it anyways. So I'm just going to go into the darker shade and I'll tap this in the deepest part of my cheek. Okay, so these blend really nicely. They're pretty. They look very natural. The shades are really nice. Honestly, I have nothing bad to say about this. My skin does not feel too heavy. So if you're looking for a nice contour set, I would highly recommend this. It's pretty. It does the job. I'm not the type of person to contour on a regular basis. I just feel like it's pretty for pictures because from the front you have this very structured face, but when you look on the side, and especially in real life, like in person, you just see like a brown spot on the cheek and it's not really natural for everyday purpose. So yeah, let me just put on some highlight. I don't know which highlight to take. Yeah, I think so. So for my highlight, I feel like this makeup look calls for the Space Age Gifted highlight. This is a beautiful dual chrome highlight. It's really intense. You don't need a lot. I forgot blush. Oh my god, I was about to forget to apply blush. For my blush, I'm going to take this one right here just because it's next to me and I don't feel like getting up to take another blush. This is the very nasty looking Hourglass palette, the holiday palette from last year. So I'm just going to grab the blush from this palette because I'm lazy and I don't want to get up. All right, everyone, here we have it. Final thoughts on these products. I recommend everything but the eyeshadow primer. Like, can we take a moment? Like the eyeshadow primer, what the heck? You have one job. Look how creasy this looks. What the heck? Other than that, the eyeliners are magical. They're so nice. So pretty, shifty. They do take some work trying to get them pigmented and intense. You have to be patient because if you go in with a second coat on top of your first coat, it can remove the first coat. So you have to be very light-handed, but when you get it right, you get it right. The Complexion products, I'm quite surprised. Like, do you see how my skin is so pretty right now? Okay, it does not feel too heavy. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to be using the small highlight powder because I don't like when my skin is matte. I'm dry. I have very dry skin, so I like all the dewiness I can get. But if you're looking for a nice like highlighting powder, I really like it. It's not super pigmented though, so it did not like brighten up my skin that much, but it did brighten up my skin a little bit. Nothing too crazy, and it's lightweight, so I would recommend it. I totally forgot to make my eyeshadow more intense, so let me just do that really quickly. I'm just going to take a fluffy brush with the lighter shade from the Flowing Haze palette, and I'm just going to fluff that to make the reverse wing more intense. Where was I? I was about to review the palettes, the eyeshadow palettes. Honestly, I'm very surprised with these eyeshadow palettes. Like the brown eyeshadow I tried, they definitely blended really nicely and they did layer quite nicely also. I do really enjoy all the quads that Kaleidos launched. They're very compact, they're very practical, and they're very travel friendly. So if you're looking for a nice quad, I would say these are worth it. So that's pretty much all for this video. I really hope this video was useful. If it was, please leave a like. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you're doing well. I hope you had a nice holiday season. It just passed for me. It was a couple of weeks ago. We're now in 2023 and I'm hopeful for 2023. But yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you next time.